shirt. It says you can't fix stupid, but something something hats something something sure make it easy to identify. It's basically talking shit about MAGA. The online racism epidemic is getting worse, is it? Young Don reacts. I want to, you know, I want to know why this. It comes out. Operant conditioning. Do you know what operant conditioning is? Look it up. I don't know if anybody's going to see the video, this one that I'm making right now, but operant conditioning. Google it, look it up. Then come back here. Right? You back here? That's why when the N word, when it comes out of, if you're a black person, when it comes out of the mouth of a white guy versus a black guy, it enrages you when it comes out of a white guy versus a black guy. You are conditioned for it. I hate you. For it to have a different emotional response. Were you brought up on an alien world? With different initial you know, raised differently and whatever. Probably have a totally different reaction. Maybe if you'd even never heard the word before. Wonder if there's some people, if there's some black people who have never even heard the word before. I mean, is it like, because there's plenty of country, I mean, there's got to be plenty of countries where they don't speak English, right? I mean, I guess that English. I get that English is like all over the world, but to be some places somewhere where black people have never heard the word. So there's an interesting experiment. Well, anyways, like I said, look up conditioning. What else is he gonna say? What else is the video gonna say? Okay, Young Don just said basically he was pissed off about he was basically more pissed off about like white people being like I don't get what black people are pissed off about. Slavery is basically over, and like you need to get over yourself and blah blah blah. And what are you worried about? Like, there's all the problems are fixed and there's nothing wrong and stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I get it. There's all things being equal, all other things being equal. Yeah. Having a white penis does kind of what's a good way to say it? On the Monopoly board, get you an extra what, $500? Normally let's start with like $1,500. So yeah, it's like an extra $500. Extra 33% ahead. We'll say something like that. Yeah. It's a good bonus. Maybe the white bonus is 500 and then the penis is another 500. We can just do that right there. So, but black men, I think, gotta concede that the penis is a bonus too, or at least having a penis is not as much of a detraction as being black and having a vagina on top of it. So, being a black woman is like, oof, you're getting a two shot right there. So, maybe we put it that way. I don't know. Either or. You just made a comment about the criminal justice system again, about the bail thing. The thing he said about bail is basically, I'm going to sum it up. He said, basically, white people tend to get lower bail sentences or bail determinations. Another thing that this is just my own little thing I want to add on here. that I really just hate about the criminal justice thing. I don't know how this kind of applies across the board, but like if you're pulled over and arrested in your car, they tow your car and they take it to the impound lot. And so even if you get bailed out and stuff, then you got to go to the impound lot and get your car out. So basically you have to bail yourself out and you got to bail your car out. So for me, one time I noticed that there was a cop behind me, turned on his lights, and I was like 3 blocks away from my apartment. So I was like, fuck it. And I just drove myself back to my apartment and I went back into my parking space. Now, I don't know if I would have felt like confident doing that if I wasn't wet. So I'm just like saying that shit right now, like, and also the cop just was like, oh, he basically pulled me over because it was like, oh, you didn't have your headlights on when you pulled out of the gas station. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't realize the headlights weren't on until after I was out, because like it was twilight at the time basically, and so like I didn't realize they weren't on, you know, until like I was like a block or two outside whatever. And then the cop was like, oh, and your turn signal is out too. And I'm like, what? No, it isn't. I just changed that bulb. Like I just changed it like 3 days ago. And he's like, it's out. And I'm like, what? That's bullshit. And he's like, well, I'm giving you a ticket to change it. And I'm like, fucking A. And also, so that's the other thing. I'm like, because this was in Arkansas when this happened. So yeah, if I wasn't white, I don't know that you know, basically would have ended that way, or would he just have arrested me because you're like, well, I got to arrest you because you didn't pull over when I'd be like, because I'm fucking white. I was like, yeah, I wanted to drive here because I didn't want you to fucking pull me over on the side of the road and have my car towed. This way my car is fucking here. You don't have to tow my fucking car. If it's some shit that happens, you don't fucking tow my car because my car is at fucking home. Because I did not have the money to fucking get the car out of the impound lot. Because the impound lots are fucking expensive. And that's bullshit, by the way. That's just another level of the criminal justice system. That's bullshit. All of this is very interesting. Where is this leading? For the, to November. It's 10:52. Damn. I was gonna go to the stupid doctor. Not anymore. It's too late. Too late in the day. But that's that video of his reviewing that odd that online racism epidemic thing. There was apparently there were a few earthquakes today. There were actually, I think, 4. There was 1 in California, 2 in Venezuela, and 1 in Japan. So a bunch of earthquakes today. And that's weird because those are multiple fault line earthquakes. So it's like, what up with that? I mean, how did that happen all in one day? I don't know. But that's a question for geologists, to ask the Geological Society and the Seismological Society. I don't know. To ask university people, how did all those earthquakes happen essentially at the same time? Was there one like nexus or hub of plates that like met up and like kind of slipped and then boom, a bunch of earthquakes happened or something like that? I don't know. Just weird. But there was apparently a bunch of damage in Venezuela and maybe a bunch of damage in Japan. Not very much damage in California, because it was only like a 5 point something in California. So just kind of incidental damage in California. But lots in Venezuela because, Venezuela not a whole lot of, not as developed. And Japan is much more earthquake proof. I think I watched a video on them, on Japan, like 2 weeks, a month ago. Japan is building up their infrastructure, so I think they're trying to build up their infrastructure to be like earthquake proof up to like 9.5, some ridiculous level, so that like their island is like earthquake proof, hurricane proof, flood proof, like just like all like their 5 major cities are just like almost disaster proof, like as disaster proof as they can, like as modern technology can fucking make it. Because like they're just like, well, this is our little island and we want to protect it as it is, and we want to protect all our infrastructure, so we're gonna like invest like infinity $billion to upgrade our infrastructure, like a shitload. So we're just going to keep pumping money into making all of our infrastructure better and better and better. and like building shelters and building in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, a while ago, like decades ago, we had this thing called the the underwater tunnel, what was it called? It was, it was basically a big underwater tunnel where, during rainstorms and stuff, it'd fill it up. And it was basically where you would store excess rainwater until you could later on send it to the sewage facility. It's like the deep water storage facility, the deep water tunnel system, or the deep tunnel storage system, something like that. But they're building something basically like that in Japan, but I think a lot bigger. But I'm guessing it's just for rainwater. So that when they have big, big hurricanes and floods and stuff, they just shunt a whole lot of water into there. And store it there until the rainstorm ends, and then later on funnel it back out into the sea. And it'd be nice if we had things like that in the United States. Built up to hold the rainwater. In these back channels. And, just multiple reservoirs. Because way back when, before encroachment of settlers came, and beavers were all over here. And there were beaver dams everywhere. And because there were beaver dams everywhere, there were, I guess you could call it artificial lakes. And when the rains came, they would fill up those artificial lakes. Now we don't have beavers and we don't have beaver dams. What we do have are a lot of roads. Roads make excellent runways for water. So, yeah. Anyways. Whatever. All right. Tax rich people, kneecap rich people, tax wealth not work, and boobs, people. Boobs.